Open world games are very hit or miss, especially if they are free, because of the effort or lack of effort put into them. Look at something like Biomutant, for example. It was supposed to be filled with a ton of content, but ended up being an empty, boring game and not that many people enjoyed. Looking at good games with open worlds like Elden Ring, it seems like there's an endless amount of content for you to enjoy. Whether or not a game has a good open world comes down to the laziness of the developer or even the vision the developer had in the first place. Sometimes it just doesn't work out the way that they had hoped. On this list, we will be taking a look at 8 open world games that are on Steam and entirely free. Do keep in mind that the games we found aren't in a particular genre and are a different type of open world game. The thing with the open world genre is that it is extremely generic when it comes to applying them to a specific game. So we will be talking about the games that let you freely explore the game world the way you want. This video is sponsored by Aura. Aura is an identity theft service and fraud protection for your finances, personal info, and family. It's easy to understand, simple to set up, and all in one place. Not many people know this, but every 14 seconds, someone becomes a victim of identity theft, which has cost the US over $56 billion in 2020 alone. Aura gives you a secure password manager, identity theft protection, a VPN, antivirus, and more, all in one place. If you use our sponsored link in the description of this video, you will get a free 2-week trial for Aura to test out the services. And if you decide you don't like it, there is no charge to you. Alright, back to the video. Til Nord is probably not something you expected to see on a list like this, but here it is. It's a snowmobile racing game where you can freely explore a snowy town where there are a ton of things to do. You can do time trials, races, and even drive up mountains. It is definitely one of those games that you want to play when you just want to relax and play something fun. It is only single player, so it isn't as fun as it can be, but it's still a ton of fun to play. The graphics are pretty good for it being such a small development team, and the snow physics are actually very detailed. It is one of those games that is hard to get used to, but once you get the hang of the driving, it is pretty satisfying, especially when you find cool areas to do tricks. If you enjoy racing games, then you should definitely check this one out for yourself. Piratopia is one of those games that reminds us of the early website pirate games. You can set sail as a pirate and fully explore a world with a ton of stuff to do. You can collect and trade goods, take down other pirates, and even chat with other pirates to make alliances with them. You can hunt down sea creatures and AI ships, as well to get yourself some loot. There are even some roguelike elements to it since you lose some gold and loot if you die, so try to be as careful as you can when taking on certain challenges. There's also a ton of equipment you can get for your ship as well to give you an edge in battle, so make sure you explore as much as you possibly can. There are different servers to the game, so you can play with as many friends as you want to. It's a great game to play if you are a solo player or like to group up with your friends. Endless Sky is a game that came out about 7 years ago from when this video released, and it is one of the best free exploration games out there. It is inspired by the Escape Velocity game made back in 1996. You basically start out as a little wimpy shuttle and slowly work your way to owning an entire fleet of massive ships. It takes about 15 hours to beat the main story, so if you were just going to play for the story, it will definitely be worth your time. What makes this game so cool is the fact that the developers had made the game open source, so people can add to the game if they want to. The game has definitely evolved since its release in 2015. The game also allows for you to explore and play how you want. You could be a merchant, pirate, fleet commander, or anything else you can think of. If you enjoy space games with the freedom to do whatever you want, then try this game out for yourself. Alpaca Stacka is a shorter game that has you play as an alpaca. The main goal of the game is to help out all your chicken friends by finding all her chicks. It is a platformer, so you will definitely need to parkour around the world to find all 5 of the chicks, and it is a relatively shorter game, but it is definitely one you should check out if you were looking for something relaxing. Small games like this give us hope that indie games can be made well, and that there is hope for the smaller part of the gaming genre that is growing exponentially. The island is smaller than the other games on this list, but you can still explore it freely as you wish. It definitely isn't the best free platformer out there, but it is definitely worth trying out if you do enjoy playing those types of games. Death Toll is almost a spin on the Rust formula. There is a main goal rather than it just be survive. Your main goal is to escape the island. You can do it however you'd like, and the world is free to explore. There's an inventory system, so you will have to be careful what you pick up since you might need to throw something away first. You can team up with some friends or go in solo, so it is totally up to you how you want to play. There's a full day and night cycle, and there are also a ton of vehicles to find and use. It is definitely worth your time if you are a fan of the survival shooter genre. The developers also put in bold when making this game that there's no pay to win in it whatsoever, which makes the game even better to us. You will need to find food to survive as well, so if you enjoy survival games like Rust and Ark, then you will really enjoy this one. Fishing Planet is exactly what you think it is. It's a game about fishing. If you've ever played a simulator game like Call of the Wild or anything like it, you will know exactly what we mean by you can explore the world. There are a ton of places to fish, and the scenery is actually very nice to look at. If you don't want to pay for the very expensive fishing games out there, this is the perfect game to test out and see if you'd enjoy that type of game. It definitely is a very slow-paced game, but that is expected with what the game is about. If you enjoy fishing or just like playing games that are extremely relaxing, then you should definitely check this one out. It is free, so there really isn't any other reason not to. You Have to Win the Game is a game that was made to look like a retro 80s PC. The game is a 2D platformer, so it is not as open world as many other games, but it is open world. Technically, you could say that it is a Metroidvania, but those games are basically open world. It reminds us a lot of the game VVVVVV. Yes, the name is very long, but if you don't know what that game is, go look it up. It is awesome. You Have to Win the Game is so cool just for the fact of how it looks. Even if you aren't a fan of 2D platformers, you do have to admit that this game does look cool. If you enjoy 2D platformers with an older aesthetic, then you should definitely check this game out. The Complex Found Footage is one of those games that we have to put on this list. Yes, it is short. Yes, it isn't the biggest game out there, but it is very, very fun. If you aren't familiar with the backrooms, we would definitely urge you to watch some videos on it before playing this game, because it is one of the most interesting things to come out in the last couple of years. There really isn't too much to this game, other than the fact that you are trapped in the backrooms and you need to find a way out. The graphics are extremely unique and the sound design is top notch, so if you haven't played this game already, then we'd highly recommend it. Thanks again for Aura for sponsoring this video. If this video helped you find a cool game to play, then let us know down in the comments section below. Also, if you enjoyed the video, we'd really appreciate it if you'd give it a like. Also consider subscribing since it is free and it will help get our videos out to more people. We do have a gaming podcast where we talk about games and we even go over gaming news as well. All links in the description, and thanks for watching.